Now we will discuss about another application of Gauss law. That means using Gauss law, we will calculate electric field due to a uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Previously, we have calculated for uniformly charged wire, infinite wire. Now we are calculating electric field for a uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. We will calculate electric field, keep it in mind. To do that, we are taking the help of Gauss law, because we have already discussed that this particular law helps us to calculate electric field in certain situations easily compared to Coulomb's law. So here I have taken, you see, this is an infinitely long plane sheet of charge. Here sigma is surface charge density, which is simply delta Q by delta A. Means delta Q is the small amount of charge in that area, that is delta A, small area. So this sigma is called surface charge density. You just think of a region where the charges are distributed throughout the surface. We have taken that is your surface charge distribution, and using that we are supposed to find out electric field here. This is the point which is at a distance of x, let us say, from the midpoint of this charge distribution. Okay, so this is x. Now to apply Gauss law, we have to imagine a Gaussian surface. This thing we have already discussed. So in this case, the Gaussian surface will be in the form of a rectangular parallelopiped, This is actually parallelopiped is the three-dimensional version of parallelogram, and a rectangular parallelopipe, actually it is very much similar to cuboid, so to say. So about this point we are taking the Gaussian surface of this, and now you see this Gaussian surface has 6 faces. This is one surface, this is second surface, the third, fourth, then other 2 surfaces are also there. 6 surfaces. So one is towards this and other is into the board. 6 surfaces are there. So if you show the direction of delta S in all these cases, so I have shown 4 here. 2 are, one is towards this and other is into the board. 2 are still there. So out of these 6, you see in 4 cases, okay, E and delta S, they will be perpendicular, because at this point the direction of electric field due to this charge distribution will be towards this. So except these 2 surfaces, other 4 surfaces we will have electric field perpendicular to delta S. That means in all these cases we will find the flux linked. So if this is surface number 1, this is surface number 2, this is 3, this is 4, and the outward is 5, 5th, or the inward is 6th. So except phi 1 and phi 2, other phi 3, phi 4, phi 5 and phi 6, these 4 will be 0, because in all these cases electric field is perpendicular to delta S vector. Only in these 2 cases we will find electric field to be equal to simply E into A or E into S, because this is the situation where you see electric field and delta S, they are parallel. So in these 2 cases we will find, okay, flux to be equal to E into A or E into S. If you have taken surface area to be S, then you will find it to be E into S, otherwise it will be E into A. So the total flux linked with the Gaussian surface, the total flux will be equal to 2 into E into A. This is the total flux. The total flux will be 2 into E into A. So as per Gauss law, as per Gauss law, this total flux will be equal to Q in by epsilon 0. Q in by epsilon 0. Q in means the charge inside the Gaussian surface. Now you see, this is our Gaussian surface, the rectangular parallel pipe. So we have to find out the charge inside this Gaussian surface. Then how much will be the charge inside this surface? Because we have our sigma equal to delta Q by delta A. So this delta Q will be equal to sigma into delta A. That will be equal to Q in this case will be equal to sigma into A, because I have taken the area to be A. So this Q in will be equal to sigma into A. So we are getting phi equal to sigma into A by epsilon 0. That if you want to find out the value, okay, you can put sigma equal to Q by A also. If you write that, then this you will get okay, sigma, let us keep sigma as such. So phi will be equal to sigma into A by epsilon 0, and this phi is equal to 2 into E into A, that is equal to sigma into A by epsilon 0. So A cancel, your E will be equal to sigma by 2 epsilon 0. See this. One interesting point here is that the electric field is not depending on X, because you see we are given this sheet, this is infinitely long charged sheet. We are finding out electric field here. So that electric field here is not depending on the distance X. This was our X. Okay. The second point is, if you really want to apply this formula to a finite charge distribution, then this formula will be correct in the middle region, of charge distribution. That means if this is the charge distribution, somewhere here this formula will be correct for finite sheet. But for infinite sheet, this point can be anywhere. And the last point in this is, if you want to find out the E vector, so it will be sigma by 2 epsilon 0 with a n cap. Again, the direction of n cap will be away from the charge distribution if it is positively charged, or it is into the charge distribution if it is negatively charged. So n cap will be towards this. That means in this case we can write electric field to be equal to minus sigma by 2 epsilon 0 if you use this n cap same as this. Okay, that means this minus sign indicates that the electric field in second situation is opposite to the direction of electric field in first situation. But the magnitude is this much, and this is very important, that this magnitude is independent of the distance of the charge distribution, and this is correct for a infinitely long plane charge sheet. And if we are interested to calculate for a finite sheet, then this formula will be correct in the middle region. If you want to find out somewhere near the end for a finite sheet, then you have to go for other situations. You have to take the help of Coulomb's law. This Gauss law will not solve your purpose. Thank you.